Hello and welcome to a special edition of Zee Companion Insight with me, Chetan Pathak. Tonight we're talking about breast cancer and my guest is Reena Parmar. Earlier this year, at the age of 31, just 2 years after getting married, Reena was diagnosed with breast cancer. She's just finished undergoing chemotherapy. Tonight she and her husband are here to share their story and encourage women and men to be more aware of the symptoms of breast cancer. Now, we come across headlines around cancer and breast cancer in particular all the time. You may well have seen this on BBC News. UK South Asian women hiding cancer because of stigma. It comes from the BBC's Victoria Derbyshire programme, which heard from Asian women not wanting to talk about cancer, saying they were too scared about what people would think. One of the women they heard from on that programme said she chose to suffer on her own through chemotherapy for fear of her family's reaction. And in some cases, people have left it so long that when they've gone to seek help from a GP, it's too late and the cancer has spread. Reena got in touch with us because she wanted to raise awareness about this subject and felt it was important for people in our communities to be talking openly about it. Reena, thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
With your husband, of course, to share your story. And we often get the story of the person that's perhaps going through the treatment at the time, but you also wanted to bring your husband in so he could talk about what it's like for you as a partner having to support someone that's going through this. Reena, it's been an incredible year for you. This was only earlier this year that you even spotted that something wasn't right. Yeah. When did you know that something was wrong?
So it was a funny story actually. So we were had dinner and we were at home and some music came on. So me being a bit crazy, I just started dancing and I felt something on my wrist, on my breast, top right over here. And I looked at Mickey and I looked at my husband and I was like, Mix, I felt a lump. Looked at him a bit worried and he goes, look, don't worry. He had a little feel of it and he was like, oh, it's quite a large lump. So we just thought, oh, it must be a cyst, so we'll go to the doctor, get it checked. But the next day, unfortunately, sadly, my husband's father passed away early in the morning and it just we just had forgotten about this in a way. We'd forgotten about it because it was such a shocking thing that we had to go through then. But, he was adamant and he was like, look, let's go to a doctor. So I got it checked just the following Friday with the GP. And, the GP made me feel really comfortable. My husband came with me and he just checked it thoroughly, checked both sides. And he said, look, I think we need to check you with the breast clinic at the hospital. So it took about a month of scans and biopsies and, loads of different procedures and stuff to make sure and find out exactly what it is, what type of cancer it is as well, because there's different types. And mine was triple negative, which is only about 15% have triple negative cancer. And it's more to do with your genetics rather than your hormones or protein or stuff like that. So it's more of a rare version of breast cancer. And it was...
And Mix, you obviously, as Reena said there, you lost your dad. It's a lot to take in at that time, but you were still encouraging Reena to make sure that she gets this.
Yeah, so the very next day I had to go to the GP to try and get the details for the coroners and so forth. And I thought, whilst we're here, let's book you in for an appointment. And we were quite quick with the GP surgery. We got an appointment that same week. And as Reena said, we referred to the breast clinic after about 10, 15 scans and lots of prodding and blood tests.
Lots of prodding.
Coming from someone who'd never ever had a blood test in her life, well, in recent time to have so many, it was worrying. But initially after the screenings, we were also told not to worry, that it doesn't seem to be anything. But when we got the letter to say that we need to come in for a second appointment, that's when we started kind of fearing the worst and thinking, okay, we need to go to this appointment and just try and get through it, really.
Also, that early detection, though, made a huge difference because we weren't able to do our fertility treatment because they said it's so aggressive that you need to go straight into chemotherapy. It could go to metastasis stage, which is very serious. It could go into your skin, and it could go to like
Your spine and
yeah, spine. It could go to
So it's
secondary
because
breast cancer.
you went so early, as soon
Yeah.
as you were alerted to it, that you were able to get the treatment. What's the moment of diagnosis like? Because as you say, when you're first in for the test, you're hoping
Yeah.
for the best, and the doctors are trying to stay positive. What was your
So when
reaction?
she,
What was that moment like?
So when I went in, and she was like, I'm sorry, you've got cancer, and I was shocked. I didn't even say anything. I didn't even. It was like I had a poker face. I just didn't. It was very shocking, but I didn't know what to do, what to think. I didn't know whether to cry, whether to just, be angry. I just didn't know what to do, but they talk to you about it. And my lovely nurse Lindsay, she's amazing, my Millen nurse. She took me into her room, and we discussed it, and she was welling up a little bit, because she was like, you're so young and you haven't had children yet, and chemotherapy can affect your ovaries, and you may not. There's 1/3 of a chance that you can't.
One third of a chance that you can't conceive.
Yeah, so she was quite worried, and we didn't get to do fertility treatment wasn't an option after, because it was so aggressive. So it was.
You've undergone the chemotherapy
Yeah.
now. I just wanted to talk about your mum as well, because you've got a blog that you're writing at the moment. We'll stick the address at the bottom of the screen so people can check it out, because you've been very open about everything that you've gone through as part of this process. littleC31me.com, just got it on the screen now. Your mum had gallbladder cancer, is that
Yes.
right? But she didn't take the chemotherapy route?
Yeah, she was a homeopathic doctor, and she just didn't believe in chemotherapy. And we had one of the best doctors trying to convince her. We tried to convince her, but she just didn't believe in it at all. And you can't force someone to do it, even though we really wanted her to do it. It might have saved her life. It might have even just extended her life. And then she could have seen my niece as well, because my niece was only born a few months later.
The really sad thing was that 2 days before she passed away, she asked us the question, can I have chemotherapy now? And that really hurt us, because we really felt that the chemo would have given her a bit of longevity, and let her see her niece who was grandchild who was due to be born in January. So it was a tough time, but I think that experience we had kind of made us realize that chemotherapy is something that you have to do, something that you need to
What was the
do to
reaction
help
from
yourself.
you're getting emotional? Have some water as well. I'll get you a tissue too, and it's clean, I promise you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just explain to us, if you can, what the reaction was from your family too, because bear in mind that what had happened to your mum. You've got a brother as well. What's the support been like from them?
Oh, the support's been amazing. I've had a lot of support from my brother and my dad and his mom and his brother and stuff as well, and sister-in-law and my sister-in-law as well. So lots of friends and other extended family have been amazing. So I think support is a big thing, but it's also like positivity. So you need to keep a very strong mind. I think if you don't keep your mind strong, it can really you can go crazy, you can, because you're at home a lot when you're on chemotherapy. Sometimes there's days I couldn't move, I couldn't walk, or I couldn't even get dressed, I couldn't have a shower and stuff like that. So, you do have to find things to keep you positive and keep your mind strong. And I think being open and doing the blog, and it was very therapeutic for me. It was like, just writing out all my emotions. When I'd be ill and I couldn't move, my fingers could move, so I'd be typing away on my blog, just letting everything out, and that was very therapeutic for me. And then I just thought, I just wanted to help others. I just want to bring more awareness, bring more openness to it.
And you wanted, I know, to talk about the hair loss side as well, and we're going to do a little bit more of that after the break, and also the effect on UMIX too as a carer and what you've been through. I know it's emotional, and thank you for sharing your story. What I'm going to do now, just to kind of give us a bit of time here, is just to cut to a video which I know Reena was really keen on us to play. about making sure that women check themselves. Breast cancer, of course, affects men and women, about checking your bodies, knowing your body, knowing your breasts, and how to keep on top of things and see if something is wrong. This video comes from Breast Cancer Now, a charity. Have a look at this.
Most cases of breast cancer are found by women noticing unusual changes and visiting their doctor to get them checked. The earlier breast cancer is found, the better the chance of beating it, so it's important to check. No one knows your body better than you, and everyone will have their own way of touching and looking for changes. There's no special technique, and you don't need any training. Checking your breasts is as simple as TLC. Touch, look, check. When you touch your breasts, is there a lump or unusual pain either in the breast, upper chest or armpit? Is there a lumpy area that doesn't go away? Is there any change to how the breast looks? It could be a different size or shape, or there could be a change in skin texture, such as dimpling or puckering, or the skin could look red or inflamed. What about the nipple? Is it inverted, turned in, when it normally points out? Is there any discharge or rash or crusting on or around the nipple? Check anything unusual with your doctor. It's good to get into the habit of checking regularly, maybe when you're in the bath or shower, or while getting dressed in the morning. You might prefer to do it while standing up or lying down. Everyone's breasts are different, and your breasts can change with age and at different times of the month. It's important to get to know how your breasts normally look and feel, so it will be easier to spot if there are any unusual changes for you. Download our app to help you to remember to check at breastcancernow.org/app.
And there's more at breastcancernow.org if you want to have more details, or perhaps watch that video again. Just to kind of summarise what they're talking are the symptoms and what you might want to look out for. We can just put a little box up on the screen. Of course, if there's anything you're concerned about, go and see your GP. But these are the sort of things you might be looking for: a change in the size, shape or feel of a breast, a new lump or thickening in a breast or armpit, skin changes such as puckering, dimpling, a rash or redness of the skin, the fluid leaking from a nipple, and you aren't pregnant or breastfeeding, changes in the position of a nipple, and breast pain. Breast cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in women in the UK. Over 55,000 women diagnosed with it each year in the UK alone. And we heard from Reena too, early detection is the key, and in early detection cases there's a really high percentage chance of survival if that right treatment is there. We're going to go for a quick break now, but afterwards, I know, like I said, Reena, you wanted to talk about your hair loss and overcoming that too, and mixed side of things as a partner, the sort of challenges that you face supporting someone through cancer treatment. Stay with us. We'll be back with you after the break.